Boy, talk about being up in the air on how to do something. That's been me. My name is Marlon, by the way. The channel is Old Fart Hacks, and what I'm looking at is a way of determining for sure how square the X and Y axis are on this cheap Chinese table. So let's get on with it, shall we? At this point, we're going to check the squareness of this side to the ways. By the way, this is mounted up on my cheap Chinese drill press. This eventually will be my milling machine. Notice of course, the quill's all the way down, but notice the milling envelope I have here. It's about 1.5 inches. But anyway, better than nothing though. Okay, so we're at 0. Let's see where we are in about 5 inches. Just for reference, we're about halfway through the travel. Well, maybe a little more than. And we're coming back down to, we're coming all the way around this dial for the first time. So this is definitely not square to the side of this is definitely not square to the ways here. That's going to be one problem with this. Yeah, that's about as far as I would normally take this, just because we're starting to get out of the ways, almost half the way out. And what are we at? Yeah. What is that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 thousandths roughly. And tilt this side is off from the ways themselves. Because if you stop and think about it, this point right here is not moving relative to the saddle. And this is sliding along the way. So yeah, there's a bit of an error on that side. We'll also check the 3 other sides and maybe even this side. I'll be back. Okay, so let's start going this way, which is that way, and we'll see what we get. I'm just going to run back down. So here in a few seconds, let's see how bad this little dip is here, by the way. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to shut off the camera for right now. I'll bring you back when I get down to the other end. Okay, we're getting here. And that inner slot wall is somewhat better. We moved 16 thousandths from here to there. So again, the ways, the surface here, or actually, yeah, the V here is not square to these. I'm going to move over to the next one. We'll run there, and we'll give you more data from there. I'll be right back. Okay, on to the next pass. As you can see, zeroed up. This is actually doing quite a bit better. I would say that through the bulk of this ways, this lines gives, or the bulk of that slot is relatively square to the ways. What this says is whatever you're going to set up in here, unless you're going to put a vise on or something, you're definitely not going to or depend on the ways themselves being square to anything. At least this way isn't. Yeah, it's pretty stable through there. Well, that's interesting to see. And of course, we're going to see a huge dip here. Oh, stable. Okay, I spoke too soon. I'm an idiot. The reason it's stable is it's run out of travel. We're going to have to go back the other way. Yeah. Take 43. Beep. Action. Okay, we've recentered up, and let's go back the other way and see what the changes are. I think I just knocked it off the screw. Yeah, I just got that off the screw. Well, that screws me, doesn't it? It's late. I'm going to bed. Okay, we're going to be going about 2.5 inches from here to here. Let's see how bad this is. Let's see. Remember to turn it the right way. The right way. Well, there's 5 thousandths so far. Okay, so over 2.5 inches, it looks like there's 9 thousandths worth of offset between the way these jaws are cut and the actual axis. I'll set up next for along this axis and we'll see what we end up with that way. I'll be back. Okay, that bolt's roughly 2.5 inches, so let's see what we've got here now. We'll go about the same distance and see if we get about the same drop. Don't you just love crude setups like this? I mean, the magnets, these little magnets are the same ones, like this one right here, are the same ones I put in the knobs to give me a friction element for that. Well, it's dropping, seems to be dropping at a pretty similar rate. So, question is, will we see about the same change? Well, that's interesting. Oh, that's end of travel. No wonder. Okay, well, and then of course things get screwy at that end. Oh, that's real interesting. So anyway, my conclusion would be that the saddle looks to be reasonably square to itself. It's not necessarily square to either of the axis ways, but the saddle is square to its appears to be square to itself. I've got another different block coming in, which will allow me to measure this a little more directly without, I'll be able to tram it in on this. But yeah, that's my conclusion so far, that the saddle may not be all that bad. In other words, yes, you should be able to mill a 90-degree angle or very close to it on this within a thousandths or so over about 2.5 to 3 inches, which, again, given the footprint, how much space is in here, well, that may be enough. Anyway, If you like what I'm doing, give me a like, maybe a subscribe. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. If you have any comments, I'll be more than happy to listen to them. Thanks very much. I appreciate all my subscribers. I appreciate all of you who even bother to watch me. And I hope your day goes well, or your evening or morning or whatever. Bye for now.